Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Okay, welcome everyone to a very special edition to Kill Me Now. I have two guests today, two very exciting guests. I have been a guest on their podcast. I'm just saying, there's going to be some screenshots and some video on Instagram. I look like shit, and I don't care because our guest today, or our guest, like I have a multiple personality disorder, guest wrote this amazing book, If These Ovaries Could Talk, which is also the name of their podcast, which I was a guest on. I also wrote the foreword to the book because I'm really nice. Anyway, and I figured, you know, we're talking about being moms, and this is what I fucking look like, okay? And that's it. I'm not going to get all fucking prepared and dressed up for you people. Although, I have to say, Jaimie and Robin blew out their hair. Okay.
We did.
Now, first of all, Jaimie Kelton and Robin Hopkins are not lovers. They are friends.
No,
they are friends.
No. We like to clarify that right off the bat.
Yeah. And they did something fucking incredible. They started a podcast about the creation, the ongoing shit around being in or being a part of or knowing or whatever LGBTQ plus families. I have to give you kudos for that because my entire career has been, no one wants to hear about that. Nah, you're too gay, you're too this, you're too that. And you took one of the most specific
niche.
Yes, but so important. So fucking important. I love you for it. And the book is so good. And the forward is just.
I mean, the forward.
I know. But also.
You gave us the most amazing pull quote.
Yeah, you did.
And we are very thankful to you for that.
Robin
use it everywhere.
Oh, good. And I just have to say, though, you say I'm in chapter 3 and I have not found myself in chapter.
You're all over.
You're everywhere in this book.
No, I'm not. You have a little index in the back and it says Judy Gold chapter 3. And I'm not in chapter fucking 3.
Judy Gold. Are you serious?
Is it time to blame the publisher?
We
didn't do that. All right, I did do something really stupid.
You already picking the book apart? Go ahead.
Yes, I noticed that like there were some people that were in like 5 chapters, whatever. But like,
but Judy, did you notice? Emma Brox. Did you notice that you have very long passages?
Yeah, whatever.
And Emma Brox's might be shorter.
I love how Henry doesn't even have a last name. And then Emma T. He's in fucking 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, and 15. What the fuck? Okay, let's see. David? What the fuck with David? Who gives a shit about David? I'm seeing who else.
David? There's a couple of Davids.
David from Broadway.
David.
Emma T was a child of gay moms, so she had to go in a lot of
all right,
places.
she can go. Yeah, that's true. All right. Okay, so first of all, let's start with you guys.
Again,
Jaimie,
not a couple.
Not a couple. Okay, even though your wives probably think you are a couple, but whatever. Is there any jealousy among the wives with what you two have?
I mean, I think we've both been married so long that our wives are just like, get out. You know what I mean? And they're like,
no. And then there is a little bit of like, oh my God, is it Robin again? Is Robin fucking emailing you again? There is a little bit of that.
I am texting her 24/7.
Who are you emailing with right now? Who is that? Robin? Yes, it's Robin.
You know, I don't think Elisa could. I don't think she could fucking deal. Yeah, she gets so jealous. Like, I mean, everyone. I go to the gym, and they're like, oh, can I have your card? And then, she's like, why don't you fuck her? Why don't you go fuck her now? I'm like, oh my God, please. It's like, so
that probably feels nice though. My wife's it's
13 and a half years. It's fucking boring. It's fucking boring.
Maybe I think it's because we both have younger kids. So like our brains we're not in that space at all.
Wait till you have older kids and then you're away for 3 months and you write them a long email about exactly how you want the apartment to look when you get home. And then you walk in and it's a fucking disaster. Okay. No. Okay, thank you. Now,
no, I don't want that. I don't want that
either.
So, who would like to begin? I would like to go over each one of your childhoods.
Let's start with Jaimie's childhood.
She's
just so people get. I enjoyed. So, Jaimie.
Yeah. She's just Judy. I just have to tell you, she's just trying to get me yelled at again. She wants
Judy. If you don't yell at Jaimie during this podcast, I will be very disappointed.
I'll be out. It's going to be
Okay, thank you.
So, Jaimie Kelton. But before you became the voice of the Ovary, you're a performer. You're a performer. Yes. You're a voiceover actor. You were on cruise ships. You worked at my gym.
I did. You have a good memory. I did.
So, tell everyone, you grew up in a heteronormative, right?
Yes, I had a mom and a dad and an older brother.
Right.
A dog and a cat. If we're getting into that. I grew up in
Where'd you grow up?
San Francisco.
That's right.
So not completely.
Why didn't you say that's right? Like you're going to fucking
Yeah, like you knew that. I think you did know that.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Keep yelling at her, Judy.
But so not completely heteronormative because I was in San Francisco in the 70s and 80s.
So you're lucky. Now, were you in San Francisco proper?
Yeah.
You're fucking lucky.
I am. I'm pretty cool I think I'm cool in that respect. Now you're going to yell at me.
You're not cool, but whatever you want to think. So you grew up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Did you go to San Francisco public schools?
I sure did.
And popular?
I didn't think I was popular, but we just had
she was popular.
We just had a guest on our live stream who was in theater with me in high school. And according to her, I was cool.
Okay. If you were not cool, you would fucking know it. Okay.
You know it. I was
shut the fuck up. There's yell number one. Okay.
I didn't think I was popular, but I
she flipped her hair as she did it.
I didn't think I was popular, but you know what? I sang. I was a singer, so I was known for singing. I did musical theater, so I was
right. So you were like I used to have this bit in my my act when I first started. This is one of my favorite bits, but I used to do a thing. This is like when I was in my early 20s and about all the girls in high school who were in the musicals and they would sing through their noses like
everything has its season. Everything.
And then all the kids in all the kids in high school would be watching and be like, oh my God, she is so talented. She is totally going to make it. But you were probably, what plays were you in?
In high school?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh my God, I love Jesus Christ Superstar. Hey, Xana, who's that? Oh, wait. Drew Bell, Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that was my breakout role. That's when I really got the part of my dreams. I was Mary Magdalene.
Oh, nice.
Which you would never think, but it happened. I'm also extremely short. So it was like a big deal that I got that part because I was so tiny.
Right.
Not that matters.
Now, is everyone in your family tiny?
Yeah, my dad was short.
How
my
short?
My mom, 5'6".
Wow.
You're short for a dude.
5'6" or 5'8". My brother is 5'10".
Oh, that's good.
My mom's like 5'4", but my mom has her brother is 6 feet, and then his daughters too are like 6 feet, 5'11", 6 feet.
Wow.
So we run the gamut.
It goes by the mother. It goes because Ben plays basketball, and all the coaches throughout him growing up would say, they all ask how tall the mother is.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
He's very tall, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 6'8". Did you know? Well, I'll ask you that after. Okay. Now,
did I know I was gay?
This is a new.
I want to go there because I definitely had crushes.
Right.
In high school, I had a high school sweetheart, my boyfriend that I was like ready to marry. There was that, but
okay,
I always.
What's his name?
Dominic Nolfi. He's actually been on Broadway numerous times.
Is he gay?
He's straight now, but his brother's gay, and I was like,
what do you mean he's straight now?
I mean, he's still straight.
Maybe in another week or two on Broadway.
He's straight. Well, there's no Broadway right now, but
So, and did you have sex with him? Am I allowed to ask this?
Yeah. You can ask, but yes.
And
yes.
did you like it?
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Like,
wow, I'm so uncomfortable. Right? I'm like so amazed right now. I'm like, damn, we never talked about this.
But you see. Okay. Well, let me get to Robin, and then we'll go back to that.
But no, I wanted to say there was this girl in high school. She only came like 1 year. She was like a transfer student from Ireland. Her name was Jane. She had short hair. She wore.
You were thinking about her when you had sex with Dominic.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. She rode like a motor scooter to school every morning.
And you just wanted to hang out with her a lot.
All the time. I thought about Jane a lot. I did.
Yeah. I wonder what Jane's doing.
I wonder what Jane's doing. She didn't stay. She didn't stick around.
Well, you could look her up. There is.
I don't even know her last name.
She's married now, Judy. Let's not get her divorced.
I wonder what happened to Jane.
She's hetero. Now, Robin.
Yes, Judy.
Where did you grow up?
I was born a small white baby in upstate New York.
Where?
Homer, New York.
Nice.
Near Ithaca, near Syracuse, middle of nowhere.
And
a lot of cows.
And you were athletic.
I sure was.
Yeah.
I played, and unlike Jaimie, I was not popular.
She was on the football team.
And a lot of it was because I played football. I was the first girl to play football in the tri-state area after Title IX.
We'll send you that picture.
Woo!
Yeah, so I was on the news,
picture.
and it was very cool in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. But then, guess when it wasn't cool? Middle school and high school.
Yeah. Now,
I was center. Just process that for a second.
Wow.
I don't even.
Now, okay, so
I was hiking the ball with a dude with his hands between my vagina.
And siblings?
I have an older sister in Texas.
And she's straight?
Yes.
And parents?
I have 2 of them, both deceased.
Same! Yay!
And moms. And I love a good dead mom or dad joke, and it makes everyone very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know.
Like Jaimie talks about her mom all the time, and I was like, my mom's dead.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I say it on stage. I'm like, my mother's dead. And they're like,
my mom would find that funny. So that's why I feel okay about it. But she was a little drunk, and so is my dad. And then they separated, and then.
Okay. So you were a little butch girl.
Sure was. Little tomboy.
And did anyone ever say or mention sexuality, or it was just like Robin's a tomboy?
No, nobody did, which is odd. Like, no, because it's like they were making fun of me a lot. And you would have thought, like, with the football references, they would have been like dyke or something, but nothing. That was never a thing.
Or maybe you just didn't hear it.
I don't.
Why are you looking at your watch?
She's doing it again, Judy.
Why the fuck are you looking at your watch?
Do you have somewhere better to be?
I'm taking my watch out. I can't.
That is why I don't have an Apple Watch. That is why.
I have those notifications turned off on mine.
I have a 2-year-old.
Oh, don't fucking shit. Fuck.
He's got a cold. I don't know.
Okay, and he has another mother. Okay, so Robin, I just read, I don't know if you read this, but there was a tennis player in Teaneck who wanted to play on the boys tennis team, Abby Selden. I think her name is Selden. And she was represented by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And this is
interesting. Yeah, because it's separate but equal. They don't have that's why they had to let me play on the football team, because there was no women's football team at the time. So they were required by law to let me play.
She was so good, and there was no team that she, could fit on. So she has to play with the boys, and then the boys fucking threw her down the stairs, basically. But all right, so you're playing football. And were your parents, did they ever say, Robin, seriously, you are a girl, you shouldn't be playing football?
I think when I first said I wanted to sign up, like, they weren't really thrilled about it. But you know what? When my mom was really sick, before she died, she was moving in the hospital. I had to pack her up. I found a letter that she wrote to the news station thanking them for the piece that they did on me and how proud she was of me. And she had never told me that. And it was like so wonderful. So like they were like at every game. My mom was. My dad was like selling cars or some shit.
Right.
But like they were supportive. But I think they knew, I don't know, I think they both just sort of knew like the path that was coming. They were kind of like, when I did tell my dad I was gay, he was like, I remember him like kicking the tires, and he was like, do you think maybe it's the friends you're hanging out with? And I was like, no. I was like,
tires.
I was like, no, Dad, I don't think so. And he goes, I guess, yeah, I probably always knew. And it's like, and that guy was like just not in touch. It was like, I mean, like, was it the bowl cut? Was it, you know,
but
was
it's
it the
also
football?
like, it's also like now when you're a parent and you think back to those times, you go, there's no way he didn't, you know, like
no
you
way.
know.
They didn't want to know.
Right. Of course.
But by the way, I didn't want to know either. I didn't want to know. I didn't come out till like after college.
Right.
Like, I was not having it. I was just, that was not going to happen to me. That's what I was thinking.
So Jaimie said she had a crush on Jane.
I did, but nobody knew.
Right.
Until now.
And then what about you, Robin? First crush?
Oh my God. My first crush would have been Miss Taylor, my first grade teacher. But like my first, like really, like I'm in high school and I think I'm in trouble. And please don't make fun of me too hard for this, Judy. It was my basketball coach.
Okay, stereotype party of one.
Please ding the bell. But it was also like, she was like, I had a really bad childhood. And at the time it was just me and my mom, and she was drinking and there was all kinds of dudes and stuff. And like, she was like one of the people who was like there in my life. And I just worshiped her. Well, I think I might also wanted to make out with her too. I was very confused.
Is she out or no?
She's a teacher, so I'm assuming no. I mean, we talked about it later. After college, I got back in touch with her.
So
and
was she gay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, she was super gay.
Okay. Duh.
Yeah.
I really
she would like take me skiing and stuff. It was like she was just like trying to be, but it was nothing inappropriate. Oh my God, I have to be so clear. I think she was trying to be there for me because my home life was like really crazy.
Wasn't there for you.
Yeah.
I feel like I need another sort of buzzer thing.
You need one for like my weird childhood.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So, all right. If I had to ask you when you knew, I knew like immediately that something was different about me. I didn't know what it was until I was an adolescent, until like every kid becomes like, I am a sexual being. But there's this thing that I've been really mulling over lately is the fact that even if you're 11 years old and you know, okay, I think this is what it is, you innately know you can't tell anyone. And that is what is so fucked up. It's like,
yep.
That is even kids who have gay friendly parents are afraid to tell them.
Yeah.
Don't you think so? Or
I think our generation, I feel like it's shifted for them. I mean, you hear so many kids are coming out at like 12 now and they feel like comfortable. I mean, not every family, obviously.
Because like we've interviewed some younger gays who had a really hard time coming out still. But
it's better. I don't know.
I mean, it's better because we're represented, but it's like, you know, like I'm growing up in the late 60s and the 70s.
Yeah. You had no one to look to.
Well, we weren't, And I knew, and I was like, my life will be over if I ever tell anyone. It was really the AIDS crisis that forced people to come out of the closet, but you know.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
So then you both went to college. Did you have your first experience in college? Who should we start with, audience? Huh? Who do you want to start with today? No. All right, Jaimie, was it college?
Yes, it was. What? No,
yours was high school, Yahuwah.
It was high school.
I hope Mama C's not listening.
It was a...
My mom's dead, so she already knows. You're going there.
Wait, is your mother dead? Okay, yeah, go ahead. So
my mom's alive. My dad is
I'm kidding.
It was one small encounter in high school
with a girl
and a guy.
What?
San Francisco. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so tell us.
Theater group.
I was
San
such a loser in high school. God damn it! I was at the movies alone. Damn it!
So that was one, and then nothing again for a long time, and then
no. That was one. No, I want details. What the fuck are you talking about? What year of high school?
I guess this was my senior year. I'm thinking because I was with my boyfriend at the time, and
Dominic's
Dominic's a
oh my
player.
God, I feel bad that I even mentioned him. He's
Oh,
gonna
well.
be like, why
Oh,
the fuck
please.
did you
Hi,
tell
Dominic.
He'll
everyone
be
this?
so happy. You just
I
said to
know.
the world he had a threesome
Yeah,
in high school.
But it was,
Okay.
I mean, like it was like a high school, like it was like the most
Some
vanilla
padded touching
threesome
things.
you ever get. It was like
Ooh.
sad. It was sad, but it was
Okay,
really
so-
my idea.
So what happened? You said,
Let's bring her.
I
in.
don't remember. I don't
oh,
remember.
yes, you do.
Oh,
You
thank
fucking
you.
remember.
Thank you.
I'm sure it was my idea. You know,
All right,
like,
I'll give you the
let's
scenario. You're
let's-
rehearsing at Jesus Christ Superstar. Rehearsal's over. You're like, oh, Hosanna, hey, Xana, Xana, ho, Xana. Let's go. All right. So who was the girl? Are you
my really close friend. So who was also in theater with us.
okay. So
So-
you
The set
say,
designer.
So
Okay.
So I was proud. I don't remember. I'm telling you, I don't remember. But it was probably my idea. Let's do this with
where did
Such
you
and
go to
such.
do it?
my friend's house.
Okay.
And it was nothing, like basically so little happened. It was kind of bad. And then it was nothing good. It was nothing good. And then nothing again happened again until college.
Okay. And then when you did that, were you like, oh my God, in the high school thing, were you like, oh my God, I'm gay?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I had been having like, just like you, like
You have
all my
crushes.
life, like, oh God, just because I feel this way, does that mean that I'm gay? You know, that scary feeling you have.
Oh no, I didn't say doesn't mean I'm gay. I was like, oh my God, fuck,
I'm
I'm
gay.
gay. You know?
Right. No, I was always like, oh God, am I gay in the back of my head? And then that happened in high school, but I was still really into my boyfriend.
Okay. Fuck him. All right. So
I
you
know,
go to college.
Go to college,
Where'd you go to college?
the Boston Conservatory.
That's right, you did. And tell us about the first.
Well, so then I had this was when it really, 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 this is when I realized I had the hugest crush of my life on my new best friend in college. She was older and she was my director in one of the plays.
God.
She knows who she is if she's listening to this.
She's like, yeah, it was
And we're
me.
still friends. And she's gay now too. She's gay now.
What do you, I hate that. I cannot stand that. When people say she's gay now or he's gay now, it's
We
like
didn't
we're
know.
always fucking gay.
So this whole
Okay.
time we were both
They're
gay,
out.
but we
They're
didn't
out.
know.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's out now. She's
Okay, so,
very
all right.
lesbian now.
Okay. So
Never acted on it.
You missed the boat. You missed the
never
boat.
acted on it with her.
all right. So
but
you had this crush,
huge.
but
The
you didn't
worst
act
crush.
on it.
Never. It was awful.
When was the first time you slept with a woman?
Then it was my senior year in college with a friend in my class.
And were you dating guys before that?
Mhm.
Okay. When you slept, I'm preparing Robin.
I'm
for
so
this
nervous
question.
over on the
This
other
is like
side.
When
I'm
you
gonna throw up.
slept
We're
with,
talking about our book.
we are. Shut the fuck up. When
We were
you
talking about our
slept-
next book.
This is the precursor. We want people invested in you guys so
Yes,
that they
yes.
go, oh, I want to read that book. Okay.
Maybe
So-
we'll talk about making out with a threesome in high school.
Yeah. When you slept with a woman,
Yes.
were you like, oh, okay. Or was it as good as with Dominic?
No, it was. We have to stop saying his name. It was amazing. It was
Right.
wonderful. Yeah, it was
And
great.
Did you then know?
Yeah, after that I had this moment. I'm walking down Westland Avenue in Boston to go to the grocery store, and I had this moment after that encounter with this girl walking down the
Encounter.
street, and I think in my head, I'm gay. I'm gay. And I felt this weight just lift.
Right. Yes. It's like an
From my-
out of body experience.
And it felt so good
Right.
to finally say that in my head. I didn't say it
Right.
to anybody else, but
Right,
just
right,
to
right.
even like, I also had this friend in college. She's still one of my best friends who was always like, Jaimie, you gay. She's from Jersey. Jaimie, you're fucking
Ah,
gay. You're
yeah.
a fucking lesbian. Like all the time she would tell me this. And I'd be like, no, I just think she's really
Wait, what?
pretty.
Was she Jewish?
No, she's Puerto Rican, but she calls
right,
herself a
same
Puerto
thing.
Rican Jew because
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll give her a hefting.
We'll give her a half thing.
Okay. So,
So, but then I had this, yes,
right.
Alexis. Alexis
Okay.
just got a shout out.
Hey,
So I
Alexis.
had this moment. It just felt like the weight lifted. But then it still took me another year to like really start saying I was bisexual to people.
Right. I did that too. But you're so much younger than me that I just can't believe you had to go through that. Now let's go to Robin.
I just had the realization that my kids are in a room on either side of this. And I'm like, maybe during this portion, I'll talk like this.
Okay.
Now they heard mine.
Whatever. So Robin, you're in high school. You have a crush on your basketball coach. Sure. Were you with guys or were you?
I mean, I really was a loser, Judy. I can't stress that enough. I had this one boyfriend and we were both kind of like making out like, and then that went away.
What was his name?
Mark Rowanowski, maybe. He was like a hockey player or something. I met him out working at the McDonald's like you do.
Right.
In Homer. And that didn't go well. And then college, I had like a lot of drunken making out. And by the way,
where'd you go to college? Tell everyone.
Ithaca College, upstate New
York.
Mm-hmm. But none of the sex. I was having none of the sex because at that point, like I was like not in a relationship and I had all this baggage and I thought like, I can't just like sleep with someone because then I'll be like a whore because I am not in, everybody will know I'm not in a relationship. And so like nothing was happening.
That went through your brain.
There was a lot happening up here.
But you were having girl crushes.
You know, like a little bit, but it was like, what would happen is like, it would come up and I would go, no, that's probably nobody. I just want to hang out with her a lot. And then I was really able to put it away. And then what happened was it just kept coming up more and more and more and more. And then I went to grad school, which by the way, get ready to hit your stereotype bell to be a phys ed teacher.
Okay. I just have to pause and go vomit. I'll be right back.
But I want to tell you, this is like how screwed up my thinking was. I thought I wanted to be an actor and I thought, I'll be a phys ed teacher because then I could pursue acting in the summers. Like I just was, I was a very lost. Yeah, I was a very lost child, and I just didn't know. Nobody was supporting me, and I didn't know what to do.
Before graduate school, you had no experiences, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, some like random drunken things in college, but with boys.
With boys.
No, with boys. No girls.
All right, so let's go to the first.
So then I'm in grad school, and Judy, the level of stereotype. I'm coaching volleyball,
and I can't. Yeah,
for my grad assistantship. To be a phys ed teacher. And this very attractive girl asked me after class to go out.
What's her name first?
Her name was Regina.
Oh God. Okay.
I know. And I immediately went home and I said, I think you have me confused with someone else. Cause I just was like, I could not do it. Like I had so much internalized homophobia that I just couldn't have it happen. And I went home and told all my friends about it.
But she phrased it like a date.
Yeah, I said, do you mean like a date? And she was like, yeah. And I was just like, that's not me. I think, and also I'm your teacher. I don't even know the things I was saying. It was like ridiculous. And I went home, told all my friends because I had to talk about it, but I had to like make it be a bad thing. And then like for like 3 weeks, I couldn't sleep because I was just like, I was living outside of Pennsylvania. And I remember thinking like, what am I going to do? Like, when are you going to ever figure out if this is who you are?
Right,
and if you don't try this, you're not going to. And so I asked her to stay after class.
Oh God, I can't.
It's like a bad Lifetime movie.
I can't believe we don't have another sound effect.
Like one of my fantasies, actually. So
okay, I know these are all like little porno movies.
So bad.
You porno. Okay, so go ahead.
And so then we started dating, but I hid it from all my friends. And then this is where I get really
wait. So you go out. Where was your first date?
We just went for a drink after class, and then it just sort of like lesbians do. It just like we just kept hanging out, and then eventually we made out.
And who made the first move?
I honestly can't remember the first time we kissed. Isn't that horrible? Oh my God, I'm a horrible person. How did I not remember?
You don't know.
I know it was in her car. I know it was in her car. I know. I think it was like
you made the first move.
No, I mean, it was very shy and timid, and yeah, it was like I think it was in her car. I remember that much.
Okay, that's great. Okay,
I know. I'm sorry, I can't give you more sexy details.
If she had a Subaru, we're ending.
She had a Honda Prelude. It was very sporty, and I remember making out in her car. That's what I remember.
Okay.
On like weird.
She remembers the car, but she doesn't fucking remember who made the first move. So you kiss her, and then do you realize bing, 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 bing,
yeah,
bing?
No, as soon as we started hanging out, I knew, but I still had so much shame. I was like, I can't tell anybody. And so then all my friends were like, where the fuck are you all the time? Because my friends were like my life. Like when you have
and they were straight, right?
All my friends were straight, all of them. And they were just like, you're just disappearing all the time now. And I was like, and I turned into this crazy person who was like, why do you need to know where I'm going? I'm going to lunch. Leave me alone. Like, I was like an insane person. And they were all just like, we just wanted to know if you ate already. Like, it was just like, crazy. And And then I told her that she had to go by a different name when I introduced her to my friends because they all knew the name Regina and it was so specific. So I made her go by Jennifer. I'm not even kidding. This poor girl.
Is fucking beyond closeted. Okay, so so you introduce her and her name's Jennifer.
Yeah.
Right?
And then eventually friends started figuring it out. And so then we just started like slow fading out the name Jennifer. And I said it was like her middle name. I did not handle any of this well.
My God. Look at Jaimie's
good
face.
in this story, Judy.
Okay. Okay. And then how long were you with Regina?
A year and a half. But like I want to say like somewhere around 6 months, I told all my friends and we started telling everyone.
Okay. And
but she was a crazy person.
Oh.
Very nice girl, but a little
Sad.
crazy.
Okay. And so then
because you made her use another name.
I know.
Well, she was also like flirting with all my friends and all my guy friends she was very pretty and all my guy friends wanted to go out with her. And I would just be like, just leave her alone. She's not interested. And they'd be like, why? And I'd be like, she's just not. It was just like the whole thing was like so 21.
What year is this?
1992-3.
That is just, it's so interesting to me that you would be so closeted at that time.
No, listen. So during this time, Judy, Melissa Etheridge comes out and my friends were dying for me to come out. Like, so my one friend, the straight woman, Aileen, Karen's cousin, she goes, so I hear Melissa Etheridge is gay. She goes, I think that's really wonderful. It's great. And I was like, well, good for her. And then I like stormed out. Like, I just was not going to tell them.
I know.
I wasn't ready.
I think it's where you come from and what you're.
I know, but it's just that, for me, it's just the fact that we have to fucking go through that shit.
Yeah.
Now at this time, all right. So you both realize you're lesbians, and do you feel like I'm coming out and then I'm restricting I'm going to be restricted from doing whatever?
Didn't. Oddly enough, for all the shame that I had, I was just like, now I'm just going to have it with a woman. Like I was always going to have kids.
Okay.
Me too.
I never felt, and I felt like at that point I couldn't get a date. It didn't matter if it was men or women. Like I was not.
Right.
So I was just like, I'll do it alone. Like I was going to be a mom no matter what.
Me too. Actually. Yeah. I was going to have
never thought, I'm gonna, if I want a family, I'm gonna have to marry a guy and live a fun.
Also, I had like so many gay male friends from being from the musical theater world. Like all my guy friends were gay. So
but not Dominic.
My idea, except Dominic, and then a handful of straight guys. But like my idea was I'm going to use one of my gay friends and I'm going to become a mother with them. That didn't happen.
Right.
That didn't happen at all.
Oh, interesting.
But I always thought that's always an option for me. I had a friend.
That's so fascinating because
I thought single mom. That's funny. I was just like, I'll do it alone. I don't need anybody.
I have a cousin who I think I've told this story on the podcast before, who her mother-in-law was like, why isn't Judith married? And my cousin was like, well, she travels a lot and she's too tall.
It's like the opposite.
So she can't meet anyone. And I'm like, oh my God. And she believed that shit? And she's like, yeah. Okay. So Melissa comes out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then Ellen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Ellen
Rosie between those two, right?
No. Rosie was after Ellen.
Oh, all right.
But I'm trying to we're slightly different too. I'm like 5 or 6 years
Why?
behind.
She always got to say how old I am, Judy. She's always got to be like, I'm younger. Did you catch that? Can you yell at her, please, Judy?
Because I was in high school in 92.
Oh,
Okay.
were you? That's so cute.
Yeah. No, but so let's get back to that question.
Who were your Leslie role model? Like who?
Melissa Etheridge. I worshipped her.
That was it.
I worshipped her. That was it.
Katie Lang?
Rosie.
Ani.
I liked her music.
And Ani's not even gay anymore.
Right.
Well, she's still a bisexual.
But Ani was my.
And no comedians?
Ellen. I loved Ellen.
And Judy Gold.
No, you didn't even know me.
There weren't that many, to be truthful.
I know.
No, that was it. Those were the
That's
people.
it.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
Now, how did you meet your current partners? And then we're going to move on to the book.
Who's going first? Robin's going first.
Robin, you go first.
I was doing a one-woman show.
How did you meet Mary? You did your one-woman show.
Did a one-woman show, and the guy who was
Berman.
In Search of Tula Berman. You did research, Judy.
Yes.
That's right, bitches.
Which was about this girl in high school I had recurring dreams about, but whatever.
Okay,
it's
but
fine.
her name, but Berman, so she's Jewish, right?
No, she wasn't really Jewish. I tried to change her name so it didn't.
But you used a Jewish name. Okay, so
because I was in New York then. There's no Jewish people in upstate New York.
My threesome, she was Jewish.
She was? You didn't fucking tell me that? Okay, so in Search of Tula Berman, it was at Ars Nova, where I actually did my one-person show, 25 Questions for a Jewish Mother, by the way.
By the way, I saw that I saw it in one of the early runs at what was that? The church on 44th Street. I saw it there.
Oh, you did? You went to see it?
I told you. Yes. So
fuck you, Jaimie. Go ahead.
She was still in high school, Judy.
I don't care.
So there was the guy who directed it worked with Mary, and she had this horrible long-term girlfriend since high school. And they were just they were as good as not together, but they were from Ohio and you just never left. That's what you do.
Right.
And so he had her draw the artwork of me for the poster for the thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And then we met on the next play I did. She came in and did production. We were it was so ridiculous, exchanging emails of pictures of us as kids. We were flirting with these two other people on the chain. So it felt like I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
And then eventually we made out, and then she left the lady and then we got
you're
married.
a home wrecker. Okay.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The home was already wrecked, Judy.
I don't know.
Right. Okay. Jaimie?
Okay, so
I want to know, first of all, I just want to say Jamie's with Anne.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaimie, one of the fascinating things about Jaimie is that she is a musical theater person, but she spent a lot of time on cruise ships, I have done a shitload of cruise ships, but I'm only on for a week and I can't wait to get the fuck off at the end of the week. So
it's a little bit like a prison.
And you lived in the shit part of the boat, right?
Yeah, but I had my own room. Did
you have a balcony?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't even have a window. Yeah, it's a life. It's a life.
And how long did you spend? What's the longest period of time you spent on a ship without
10 months? Or no, I'm sorry, 8 months.
That's so long.
8 months because you had 2 months of rehearsal. Yeah, so the contracts are 10 months long.
And what cruise line was it?
Disney.
Anti-Semitic, so I'm not ringing the bell. Okay.
Don't ring the bell.
So, and did you must have had a lot of sex on that, or no?
No, I didn't. The first time around, I had 2 years away stints. So the first time I did it, I was with another woman. I was in a long-term relationship with my ex for, I guess we were together 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first stint I did was when I was with her. So I wasn't having sex. I was with my girlfriend. I did, however, have a huge crush on another lady that was in the cast during that time.
Yeah.
But then I broke my knee and I had to go home in the middle of that contract. Then I didn't go back again until I was with I had just met Anne, my now wife. And so we were in a like very beginning stages, long distance relationship. So no, there was no sex unless when she came to visit.
And did you ever like see like straight couples on the boat, like cheating?
Doing it. Oh yeah.
Any gay? Did the gay guys go like, "Oh, I just slept with this guy and he's with his wife and kids," or anything like that?
I never heard it. No, they weren't
come on.
They weren't.
I feel like that has to happen on a cruise
Yeah.
ship.
I didn't hear of anybody. No, I didn't hear the stories. I didn't hear stories of guys.
I'm just
because here's what happened, Judy. The guys in the cast were like all over
Sleeping
each other.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what was happening outside of the cast as much, to be real. But the girls who had boyfriends at home were definitely having sex with guys in other jobs on the ship.
I feel like there would be like a dirty dancing sort of like,
it was
people,
crazy.
like people in
There
the
was a lot of
families making out with
craziness.
people who work on the ship.
And did any women, like wives or anything, come up to you and be like, "Hey, baby"?
No. It was Disney, so we're not allowed to really fraternize with the guests. So it was all just internal crap. Anyway,
She was like, I wish I hadn't gone.
I
to
met
this
my
line
wife
of
at a
questioning.
pride party.
Oh God.
I know. But it was a pride party. I was waiting tables at the time, and my waitress friend had a friend who was having a pride party, and I had just broken up with my long-term relationship, and I was burnt out and not looking. And this friend would not let it go. You have to come. There's going to be lesbians. There's going to be so many lesbians. And I know there are not. It's always men. I'm not going to your stupid pride. I don't need this in my life. She dragged me there, kicking and screaming. And it was the first pride party I had ever gone to where it was literally all lesbians, except for the 2 male gay friends I brought. There you go.
So, cut to you guys both get married. You want to start a family. And you wrote this book, If These Ovaries Could Talk, the things we've learned about making an LGBTQ family. Here it is.
Forward by Judy Gold.
Forward by the amazing. And I have the pull quote on the front.
You really do.
You do.
I loved this book, and I loved it because, first of all, I love the way it's written. It's written, you guys each have your story at the beginning of the chapter about the topic of the chapter. And then, you started this podcast, which we're going to get into in a second, and you use the voices of LGBTQ people to sort of, force a discussion. I think that is the best way to write a book. Like in my book, yes, I can.
By the way, love your book. And by the way, shout out to everybody. Get the audio book of Judy's book because Judy reads it and she does an amazing Donald.
Thank you.
Your impressions are really good.
Well, she's
really. I just like to get the essence of the comment.
You're really good.
You do. You're like Donald Trump is like amazing. Like I would be walking down the street laughing.
Do some Donald Trump.
I don't even know. Oh, I hate it.
I have COVID. Sorry.
I know. COVID. So.
It's not funny.
In my book, like I have each chapter is sort of an argument, know, and I have jokes to back it up. So this is, it's like a similar sort of read, and you can just, pick the chapter and go, oh, I want to read about this. So you decided to start this podcast. And I know that Robin does all the work and Jaimie doesn't do anything, but so you decide to do this podcast, and when you first decide to do this podcast,
oh my God,
do you think, oh my God, are we going to run out of people to talk to? Like, where is it going to go? Like, because it is, in a way, it's so specific and it's so not specific because there's so many different kinds of families. So when you first did the podcast, were you like, all right, we'll do like 5 episodes or something? Like how did that come about?
I mean, basically we talked about doing the podcast in a bar over margaritas. At the Pride family.
I heard it was over 3 margaritas, but I'm sure it was
probably more than that. I was pregnant at the time, so I had a mock margarita, unfortunately. But we talked about it, and we were with a bunch of our other mom friends. We have like this small group of gay mom friends that we meet every year. And we were all there, and all of the gay mom friends were like, yes, this is a great idea. You should do this. We'll be on the podcast, and we'll be on the podcast. So we knew we had 1 season just based on the friends we had. And I'll say this, that's what I thought we were committing to. A season
Right.
of a podcast, which was going to be like a side hobby.
Right.
And then I learned to know Robin a little better. And it's not just a side hobby anymore. It's much bigger than that. And so I'll let Robin take it from here. But yeah, we thought it was going to be one season, or I did.
I didn't. When we met, I like opened up 47 Google Docs and we were like, let's do this. But the thing is that I think somewhere around the third episode we recorded, we did Jaimie's story first, then my story. And then we did a friend of Jaimie's ex actually. And
was that what we did?
That was our third episode. And when and it was such a powerful episode. It was a hard one about their baby, dying, a stillborn. And it was, we walked out and we were both like, that's the podcast. This is not a podcast about how to make a baby, because that's like 8 episodes and you're done.
Right.
And I remember my wife is like such a naysayer. Like she's very, very, very supportive, but she's always like, I don't know, you're going to run out of episodes. And I was like, baby, stop saying that.
Right.
But as soon as we did that, it doesn't matter if you did IUI, IVF, and so does the next person. It's because it's your personal journey. It's like, I have always thought of the podcast as StoryCorps, like about,
oh yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't matter if it's a grandfather and a grandson, it's their personal journey that makes it interesting. And that's, by the way, when we stalked you were on Amy Schumer's podcast.
And you were the producer.
Yeah. And I heard you talking with Henry and I was like, because at first I was like, I don't think we can get her. And then you were like our first big person. You were our first celebrity.
And then it just went downhill. I mean, uphill from there. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
but then I heard you with Henry and I called Jaimie after and I was like, we have to get Judy and we have to see if she'll bring Henry. Because it's like the dynamic between the two of you was so wonderful. Like, I wish that we were like a higher budget production and could have gotten you two arguing over the milk in the refrigerator.
Oh my God.
Because it was so like wonderful.
That was one of our favorite moments.
Anyway,
nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Just in our
it's in our heads. But the point is that it's that's what it shifted to. And that, even though it's niche, is why it has legs, because I want to hear people's journeys and their stories.
And as the podcast kept going, we started, all these recurring themes just started coming up, and it turned into how you parent as an LGBTQ person and how you disclose your origin story to your kids. And so it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. There's so many topics to talk about with our families that are different than your average mom and pop family.
Right. And yet we're so similar.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the thing.
Exactly. We're still yelling at our kids.
Right. And our secrets are sort of open secrets because
you can't hide.
You really can't. And once you have a kid, and you say that in the book, once you have a kid, you're out of the closet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people realize that kids of LGBTQ families also have to come out of the closet every single day of their life, because they are all, who's your father? Who's your mother? It's constant.
Yep.
Yeah. My daughter is 6. So she's just now like really starting to process it and have feelings over having to say my mom and my other mom. Like, she has said to me, I sometimes I don't like to say I have 2 moms, because she doesn't want to stand out, so this is already starting to happen. And everybody's, it's so hard because first of all, you don't want your poor child to have feelings about their gay moms or shame.
And also to think, that's an interesting thing, because I really didn't have that with, Henry's my oldest. So he was like, he was the experiment, because we joined our daycare. We went to this daycare and we were the first lesbian parents. We were first gay parents, same-sex parents. And then they were so warm. I mean, like, we're so lucky we live in New York City. I mean, God only knows. So there's that. And then, when they were going, people don't realize what a fucking nightmare it is to get your kids into even grammar school here. And we were looking for schools. We went to Heschel, which is a Jewish, and everyone's like, you should go to Heschel. They're so open. It's such a great education. And, first we walked in, we're like, I don't want my kid going to school with all, white Jewish kids. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we went up to the principal, and this has got to be maybe 2001-ish, 2002, around there. And we went up to the principal, and we said, do you have any other same-sex families in the school? And she said, we don't. And if you feel comfortable here, you're welcome to apply, or something like that. Some fucking cunty, fuck you. And we walked out and we threw the application out. Plus, I was always going to be putting my kids in public school. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I have a plethora of things people said to us when we were walking down the street. I mean, look, we're talking for me 1996.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 1997. And what people would say to us, you know, who's the real mom?
Mm-hmm.
And we had decided that we were going to say, we forgot. And
that's funny.
And people would say, wait, how is that possible?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, do you find that people think they can, like, I find this as a comic. I'm sure, Robin, you've done stand-up. So, I mean, like that after a show, and you're a performer, Jaimie, like people come up to you and think they can just talk to you like they're
they
your
think
best
you're
friend.
friends. They think you're friends.
And plus, if you're a comic, you're bearing yourself on stage.
They think they can crack jokes to you.
Yeah,
too.
and also just say, do you get rejection from any part of your family, any part of your friends? I think that people who are listening, who are not part of our community, don't realize that, you know, as much as we were invalidated because we weren't allowed to get married and because we've had to have so much paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is my kid. I'll prove it. Here's the fucking papers. We also have to deal with your family
Ignorance.
saying, no, that's not really I'm not related to, you know.
Yeah.
Did you guys experience that? And what are the stupid things that?
I mean, just like you, who's the real mom? I think we've
I've never experienced that, but you have a lot.
Who's the real mom? I get, my wife hates this, but I get people saying, oh, you're so lucky to have grandma with you.
You got to stop telling people that. I would kill you if you were my wife and you said that.
I know.
You got to have, wait.
She doesn't look that much older than me, but I'm very short. So people think.
Wait, are you short? Because we haven't talked about that. Yeah.
I mean, are you tall?
So
I don't know.
People think that's people
right.
think
Her mother.
Lisa and I are sisters. I'm like, she's 5'5" and I'm 6'2", and she has a fucking nose job. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry.
there's that. But I also get, because I gave birth to my son and my wife gave birth to our daughter. Even friends will say, like, if I'm complaining about one of the kids, if I'm complaining about my daughter.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, she's driving me crazy. Well, or I get along, like I'm having such a good time with my son. Well, that's because he's yours.
I know. I get
she's
that all the
not
fucking
yours.
time.
Well, do you
So
think it's
wait,
because
but
she's
that
not
one's yours. He's
Right.
and I
and people say that.
fuck.
People I love say that. People
See, I don't know if I don't hear it because I had both the kids. I don't like, we had an issue with Mary's dad, but it's because he's 98 years old.
Right.
And she had never come out to him. And when I was pregnant with Maxine, my oldest,
I love that name.
Thank you. And we would go home to her
Jewish
house
name.
for Christmas every year. And I said to her, I was 6 months pregnant. And I said, or maybe 4 months. I was like, you got to tell your dad. I was like, we can't just pretend like I got fatter.
Right.
I was like, you're going to have to. And I was like, he already knows you're gay. Just tell him we're having a baby. Well, it turned out he was so like Ohio'd, like he just wasn't. And he was just like, I wish you hadn't told me. And then they didn't talk. And we didn't see him for like 4 years until her sister got in there and renegotiated. But it's because he's at the time he was 94 from West Virginia and he needed help. And Mary's sister navigated it. And now we go back and I don't know if he considers them his grandkids, but they call him Pap and just like all the other kids. And
right.
And it's fine now, but that's our only experience.
You know, as long as the kids don't know that, this is a decision. I'm going to go through some of the chapters, how to decide who your sperm donor is going to be. And I love that chapter because it is this back and forth. Wait, we could get someone we know and then they'll know. And I remember the one thing that Sharon said to me was, we need to decide who we want our family to be.
Yes.
And that really stuck with me. Do we want it to be us, the kids, and then quote unquote uncle / father figure / or do we just want to have a family? And so, you had the option of, which we'll talk about, of the open donor and the non-open donor.
Yep.
So can you explain how you both decided who the donor was going to be?
For me, I felt, I think you said this in our interview with you, I wanted our family to be us. I was very adamant that just because I need your part, you're not the kid's dad. We are the moms. I don't need you. I don't want you. But I wanted to make sure that at 18, I didn't take away the right for the kids to be able to find the person if they wanted to. Because it was really before 23andMe.
I was just going to say that. That's pretty.
Because now everybody's finding everybody.
Yeah.
But so that was really important to me. We kind of talked about a known donor for a second, and it was intoxicating because the idea of I would actually be able to see this grown up and see if they were a loser and what they've done versus just some college dude who's whacking off in a cup. But we ultimately just were no, we're not doing that. But I have come around since on opening up to other siblings and stuff.
Right.
But it took me a minute. I was really closed.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. Like I said, early on, I thought I was going to use a known donor because I had so many gay male friends. But then when I met Anne, she wasn't so keen on the known donor idea. And we had close friends that had gone the anonymous donor route, and they had a baby when we were first started talking about it. So we had them as an example, and we went back and forth between, and then I had a friend on the cruise ship who we both were actually, he might be a contender. So do we ask him or do we go with the anonymous? We went back and forth. And we decided to go with the anonymous because same reason, we wanted it to just be us. And this one person we were thinking of had a really close family and his parents were really involved. And when we got really deep into the conversation, we thought, well, then what, are we going to allow his parents and siblings to be a part of it? It's a lot.
Yeah.
Did you ever, for us, this, the HIV was a huge consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Was that ever an issue with you guys?
No, because we were, at the banks were screening at that point.
Right.
And there was a 6-month quarantine, all of that stuff. So
ours was too, but it was still sort of.
I imagine it would have been. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of Kill Me Now with Jaimie Kelton and Robin Hopkins. I love those gals, and I love their book. If you like the show, please make sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps more people find this incredibly amazing podcast. 5 stars only, please. Okay, I already hate myself, so 5 stars only. Thanks. Also, if you've not purchased my book, yes, I can say that when they come for the comedians, we're all in trouble. There is really something wrong with you because the book is great and you listen to my podcast. So don't you want more of me? Okay, don't answer that. But it really is a great read. And the audiobook, which was featured in the New York Times Book Review, is getting rave reviews, and lower the volume when you listen to it. But let me just read a little review from Amazon. Oh, here's one. An intelligent, provocative book about comedy and its importance. Judy Gold, that's me, explores the history of comedy and keenly illustrates how comedy serves as a coping mechanism for humans during the most difficult times and the role comedy plays in moving society through social change. Funny and thoughtful, you will learn a lot. Thank you, Leslie, from Amazon. I really appreciate it. So come on, there you go. It would mean so much to me if you would check out my book, and you can order them on the homepage of judygold.com, which is brand new, my new website, or you can get it wherever books are sold. Do not go to the library because I don't get any money for that. Anyway, make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram for all upcoming virtual events, live events. I am reachable at Judy Gold, JEWDYGOLD, because I'm a Jew, you know what I'm saying? And we got one more week, folks, so please vote, please wear a mask, please be safe. Oh, I can't wait till this is over. And as we always say, so long!
Don't forget to tune in next week to Just Kill Me Now.
It's Just Kill Me.
Oh. Don't forget to turn for part 2 on Just Kill Me.
No, it's not. It's
Just Kill Me.
No.
Judy Gold's Just Kill Me.
Just.
Just Kill Me Now.